Start. Let me just load up your channel, mate, and we can go from there. Make sure you're up and running. Should be.
Yeah, we are.
There we are. Just to keep you. I think that's right. Let me just quickly keep chatting, mate, so I can make sure we've got the audio levels right.
Yeah,
Before somebody
testicles,
could...
testing. 1, 2, 1, 2.
You can hear you. You're a little bit quiet, not gonna lie. So thanks for the testicles, but there you go. Are you doing that as loud as possible? Because that was vile. You know.
I go.
There we go. Do your channel, mate. Let's do your intros.
Yes,
Go for
hello.
it.
Welcome to the Monday Night Football Sunderland FC with Anthony Mackham and myself, DJ Earth. Another Monday has come round again. What episode is this? This is number 7.
This is number 7, mate. We're cracking on through them.
Wow, jeez.
Imagine if we started this at the start of the season. Imagine what would have happened then.
I know.
Would have been on episode what? 44? 45? It's been a long year as a Sunderland fan. Let's put it that way.
So
Yeah.
then, we we did a little bit of a watch along on Saturday. What did you think of the results that finished? Hello,
Jeff,
Jeff. How
welcome.
you doing, mate?
What do I think of the results? None of them really went our way, did they?
Um,
None. I don't
Plymouth,
think any went our way.
Plymouth lost, didn't they? But I think that's about the only thing, really, isn't it?
Yeah, they were that far ahead of us already, though, that it was 3 games that we've got to try and catch up on them. So it does make, like, if we do win our game, it's within 4 points. So that is a good thing, I guess. But we need to win. So I
mean,
wasn't overly chuffed with the results. Let's put it that way. But
let's face it.
yeah,
Sheffield Wednesday was always, I know they slipped up again against St Accrington. They got 1-1, but the, I think it was inevitable they were gonna turn them over. A bit of an early shock, wasn't it, when
yeah,
they were 1-0 down just after a couple of minutes, and then Sheffield Wednesday pulled one back within just a few seconds after that.
yeah. It was, I think, a goal too early, wasn't it? It was like 6, 7 minutes into the game. We're like, oh, Cheltenham have took the lead. Get in, best result. And
Yeah, I
then,
know, I
but
know.
by minute 10, um, oh, that's that's news. Yeah, mate. Like, just there wasn't that many games to talk through. So, like, yeah, Sheffield Wednesday beating Cheltenham wasn't a massive surprise, but oh, you've got the fingers crossed. A little bit of hope there for you to let Cheltenham do the job for Sunderland. But it's again waiting on other people to do the job for us is a shit position to put ourselves in, right?
It is. I sorry to you've quit your spanner with SCFC Fan TV. Well, I hope everything's all right, Jeff. I don't know what's happened like, but you're welcome on here any time. Um, you know, so I've obviously quit with them many weeks ago now, but hope you're all right, mate. And like I say, you're welcome on mine and Dan's channel as many times as you want. Feel free.
There you go. Yeah, what I just the whole like moderation of people's channels when they're live and stuff like that, I think is really interesting. It's obviously it could be a lot of work on a voluntary basis for not a lot of reward. What made you quit, Jeff, from that? Is it just the amount of time you've got to be put into it, or what was the reason behind that? Because that's quite interesting. You're clearly
Yeah, just a bit bored
with
and
someone
don't
fan.
feel appreciated. I mean, that's exactly how I was. And then
Right.
when I says oh, I just want to help SAFC grow, FCFC thingy TV grow,
Yeah.
and I was told well, we don't need your help to grow on its own. I just thought I don't need you getting this like that. So yeah,
Okay.
and it's not the only person to say doesn't feel appreciated. So eventually, time tells, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You find your own level. I mean, Jeff's also welcome if you ever wanted to do a guest video on here or anything. We're all in it together. There's none taking over the show or out like that or me. It's just you'll find out in due course.
Yeah.
But as long as you're
You,
all right, Jeff, that's the main thing.
yeah. Yeah. So
Hello,
yeah,
DJ
like
Dave. He says, "All right, lads. Seems ages since we had a game to watch. It does mine, doesn't it?"
yeah, it's been nearly 2 weeks. I think we could talk about a game that we're kind of interested in, the England match, if you wanna. But it's. I think the biggest news since the past Monday Night Football is obviously Jermaine Defoe retiring. We were like, to be fair, we were on the verge of saying he's had a very disappointing stint. He could put in a couple of more games and get the goals that we expect from him. But then was it the Tuesday or Wednesday? He just basically went, "Yeah, I'm out. Thanks."
I
Thank.
think it's been on his mind, to be honest with you, for
Mm,
a few games. I mean, he was so enthusiastic about coming here, wasn't he? And
oh yeah.
I think it's just settled the fact like he's sort of realising that I'm not up to it as what I was. No, that's all. Do you want to pop it on? This is my
You've had
son, by the way. We've just had an Indian. Hello. Do you want to pop it
nice.
on? Don't make a mess.
What curry did you go for, mate?
Nice chicken madras with the garlic naan. It was bloody lovely.
Which takeaway did you get it from?
It's called the Raj Cuisine, and it's just up the road, and it's delicious.
Nice. That's a dollar one, right?
Hey,
That's a dollar one, right?
Darlo,
Dollar, not dollar.
Carlisle.
Call out, yeah.
Yeah,
Down the road,
down the
down the
road.
road, down
Uh,
the
but
road. That's down the road.
but quickly hopping from
Yeah,
Indians back to Jermaine Defoe again.
that, that doesn't seem as natural as you might think it.
It doesn't. I just think he's probably just thought I'm getting bullied off the ball. Or I'm not. It's not happening here in Division One, and possibly damage limitations. I don't know. It just weren't happening for him, and I think he's just decided just say it's just not happening.
Nah, I
And the Sunderland fans, yeah, they're all saying like, well, give him till the end of this season and score the winning goal at Wembley. But I mean, we're talking in bloody Snow White and the Seven
in
Dwarfs land there, aren't we? I mean, seriously, it's what was the chances
Dream
of that?
World. Yeah, it is Dream World, and it would have been like the perfect book to write. Like if he did do that, um, because I don't know if we've kept him on the books now. He's officially retired or not.
I don't know.
Is he still on the SFC players website?
It just depends on what contract what was in his contract like. But I mean, it was on a free, wasn't it? I can't imagine him being he's been on the
He's
books,
still
to be honest with you.
he's still on the website, so he can. I think he's still eligible because you get a predefined amount of players you can put on your main squad in a season. Um, you can chop and change it. Obviously, you've got the thick because the top four tiers are bound by the same rules as what the Premier League are. You've got your all your transfers have got to be stuck within those summer windows and the January transfer windows. Like you can have people join your team, but they have to come from your youth squad. So
Yeah, yeah.
he'll still be on the books till the end of the season. So if he does want to just go, yeah, actually, I'm ready for this one game, we could throw him back, or he could, but I doubt it. That's again pipe dreams.
It is
Too
I.
much.
Tam says yes, please welcome Tam to the channel. I presume that's for the Indian sort of thing.
It was for the Indian, yeah.
I mean, you know, would like to see him still at Sunderland FC. I mean, if
Mm.
it's a coaching role and that, but obviously will there be bigger pulls for him? Because Spurs have already reported. He says, well, can we get your bad coaches badges with us? I mean, could you blame him for saying no? Really?
No, you couldn't blame him. it's a bigger name, right? Bigger
Mhm.
name, bigger wage, a more guaranteed pay packet, and let's face it, a more stable ownership. When was the last time you heard about Tottenham being sold on?
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I know. Like, is it Lord Sugar who owns a bit of the club, or is it like I can't remember? You know, he owns or used to own them quite a while ago. But
I know there's a lot. Some of the fans have said like, as Defoe like let the club down. I don't think he's let the club down one bit at all. At the end of the day, that was the risk when we got him.
yeah,
He was getting on. For what he's done for the club on and off the pitch, you just don't even go there to say he's let the club down. He's perfectly in his right to say, look, I'm retiring. He's come on a free. If that's what he wants to do, then
yeah,
best luck to the lad. To be quite honest with you, if we had a better setup, if we had a better squad, he was getting a better service, he was scoring a few goals. I wouldn't be at all surprised to say Jermaine Defoe would still be with us now playing. Total different kettle of fish, isn't it?
yeah. And we keep saying it. It's those if, whats, and buts that could have happened, should have happened, but it's not what's in place right now, right?
No.
Um.
I just want to breaking news here. It's important. Tam says
Okay.
I've had a cheese and beetroot sarnie for me tea. So there we go. The stop
That
press.
sounds absolutely dull.
Hello, Case. Welcome on board, mate. Hope you enjoy the show so far. But
Yeah,
yeah,
welcome.
yeah, you can't say he's been a flop.
Fucking
He's let the club down.
breaking news for a fucking sandwich. I like how you got your priorities right there, mate. Like food, number one, then Sunderland. There we go.
But yeah, at the end of the day,
Yeah, yeah,
with a Division One club, Spurs, Premier
yeah,
League. I mean, coaching badges. I mean, you'd be daft to say turn it down. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah.
you can't say no for that.
It's a logical thing to do. Like I know we're a little bit biased in Sunderland because we want that big name, that little bit of. He's the last string of hope towards our Premier League era, really. Unless you count McGeady in that, but didn't McGeady come on board when we went to the Championship? Like I
I think
can't.
I think he did. Yeah, he wasn't. I don't think he was with us with the Prem, was he?
No, so I think it's just that last sliver of like an era. I think it's on the way out, and I don't think people like to see that because it's change, right? People don't like change that much, especially when it's from a really good time to where we're at now, and it's managing that really. Um, we're in a transition phrase phase, and it's how we manage it long term, really. I could you imagine in 5 years' time we're in the same scenario? We've been in this league 10 years. We should be better than this. We should if we've been in the league 10 years, we are stable and we are that's it. That's our level now. We need to just accept it, really. Um, when is that official? Like we need to accept what level we're at is this playoff ish bracket of the League One because there's always two or three teams better than us in this league.
That always has been since we got relegated into this division. There's always been teams better than us. This proves it.
What's Tam saying there? Anyways, lads, what do you think of the rumor of Ross to Norwich at the end of the season? You mean Jack Ross?
No. Ross Stewart,
I mean, Ross Stewart does need to be playing at the next level up. He's the league top scorer.
Premier League strugglers. Norwich want to sign Ross Stewart with the Scotland striker facing an uncertain future at Sunderland.
And that's the headline of that is uncertain future at Sunderland because we're not in the same league. Like if we go up and Norwich go down, he's got to then make a decision. Who's most likely to go back up, or who's most likely to have me at their helm, going? We're fighting for this Premier League place. He could edge his bets and stick with the squad he knows, or he can go. Actually, they've got this Premier League infrastructure already in place, whereas someone would have to rebuild it. So I wouldn't begrudge him for going. I genuinely wouldn't, because it's about him as an individual. He's got to seize the opportunities that's in front of him, and if Norwich are giving him that opportunity as a potential re-promotion to your squad, can you blame him?
No, you cannot. Unfortunately, this is the harsh reality of unsuccessfully getting promoted.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think Jack Ross, not Jack. I was going to say Jonathan Ross as well, but I don't think he'd be very good, would he? Ross Ross Stewart, you got to think he's not a Sunderland fan, as he hasn't got any emotionally connections with Sunderland. It's his job. He's a footballer, and
Mm-hmm.
why wouldn't he not go to Norwich? I mean, you can't like once again you can't blame him if he wanted to go. He wouldn't be a traitor out like that. He's just wanting to better himself because he couldn't get any further with Sunderland because he's stuck in this division again.
Because the rest of the players around Sunderland aren't at his level, and that's nothing for him to scoff up at. You only get like opportunities in football come around very, very, very um, few times in a season, so or in their entire career. So you got to look at Jermaine Defoe. The amount of times he could have went to other Premier League clubs and didn't. He stuck with the devil he knew. He stuck with Spurs when they were struggling. He stuck with us when we were struggling 2 seasons on the bounce. He could have bounced a lot sooner, but like he could have been at a much higher, much more celebrated career overall. He could have played for England more if he was at the bigger teams. If he stayed at Spurs for that long time when Kane was coming in, if he moved to say like an Everton or um, who else was big at the time when we were in the Premier League or big in the big middle?
Mm-hmm.
Newcastle. Newcastle was around there as well.
Gonna say
Yeah,
hello to the Mad Mistake.
welcome,
Terry, welcome on board.
welcome,
How are
Terry.
you doing, Terry? And hello to Matthew Patton. Yeah, Terry. Just all his vlogs for CFC and that.
Yeah,
Um,
welcome along. Who's the guest? I'm the guest. I'm Anthem Mackham.
Anthem Mackham. We've joined forces together, so we do the weekly Monday night football show, Sunderland AFC chat, and we'll do the commentaries as well on the together on the Sunderland games. So we take turns on each other's channel. Terry did a video. He came up to my neck end of the woods because Sunderland weren't
Yeah.
playing, and he did a vlog. We went to the Carlisle United match, which was quite good. It was a sunny day,
Yeah.
and they won 1-0.
Oh, okay.
Just up the road from me, so yeah, it was
I
good.
just, I'm kind of a little bit worried if we, because like I said earlier, like if we sell ourselves to like this is how we are at this minute. We are that playoff fringe League One club, and that's our level. That's where we are officially comfortable at. We've been there 5 years. All it takes is for like 1 or 2 seasons at that level, and then Hartlepool, Carlisle, Darlow, they're all like starting to come into our league. I'm like, how have they fixed it, and we still haven't? And we've got a lot. We've got a better cash flow at Sunderland. That's just the nature of our club. We have a lot of fans paying tickets, buying merch, buying pints at the stadium. And how is that cash flow and that? Because we're not a poor club. I think we're
No,
just a
no, no,
poorly.
no.
I think we're a poorly managed club. And who do we get for that? What do we do? Because we all thought it was going to be KFD that would have just went like, right, everybody else out of the way. It's my club now. Let's do this. Let's install this. And essentially, all he really did was bring in cameras, bring in Defoe, sack Lee Johnson, and bring in a cheap head coach. That's his highlights that I can list off so far this season. Um, is that a leader or is that just like a businessman doing logical decisions with problems that are presented in front of him in the moment?
Oh, I know.
So yeah, go for it.
I was reading,
I'll let you.
reading another comment about Alex Neil as well. Somebody had posted Alex Neil has done a solid, if not spectacular, job at Sunderland so far, but
Okay.
it is still too early to pass judgment on whether he is the right man for next season. Writes Phil West on one of the Roker reports. So there we
Yeah.
go. It's
I mean, like I've said this like loads of times. He has definitely fixed our defense. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Come on. There's absolutely no doubt about him fixing how we've performed at the back. We needed that. But because of that, we've become less free flowing up front. So, like, ultimately, his success for me will be determined is if we go up or not. And I think you've said that as well before, DJ. Like, if we go up, he's done a cracking job. If he gets us to the playoff final, it's not good enough. We need to win that final, right?
Oh, we've had too many heartaches in the playoffs without a doubt. Yeah, and like I say, he's Alex Neil. That's how he got. I think that's how he got Norwich promoted. Am I correct? He got them into the playoff final and won it at Wembley. I'm sure he did. I have to look at the
Yeah.
stats, but I'm sure
Yeah.
he's already been successful in the playoff final, and that was with Norwich. I'm
Yeah,
almost certain it was.
if that's his form, then fantastic. We'll use that. We'll use what he's done in those couple of games, and hopefully just get the absolute best out of those players over the 270 minutes that they've got to perform in the playoffs. But are we doing enough to reach them at the minute? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Too many nil-nils.
this is it. It's like we keep talking about the playoffs and stuff like this. There's a lot of twists and turns still to come yet, like, but the
Yeah.
turns what Sunderland have got to start making is the right turns to getting these bloody wins and none of these 0-0 draws anymore. It's like, it's now or never.
Yeah.
Say hello
No,
to
never.
Thane, who's just popped in on
Popped
the
in.
chat. He does his
Yeah.
show with Michael Bowers on his channel every Friday
Yeah.
night, which is a canny show. Man of the World, who's always passionate about this as well. The fans should be protesting against this regime now.
I mean, what would we protest against? Like, if we were all to collectively go outside of the stadium like now, do you think we would have a consistent message? And what would that message be? Because I don't think we do. Because we're like, get rid of Donald, get rid of this, do that, one ownership. Like, we've got too many people with too many directions that could potentially fix our management. Or could it be like literally just sell the club and that's what we're protesting? Like, get out of our club. That's I don't think we as a collective know what we need, and until we iron that out, we're kind of stuck with this hodgepodge gel. It's basically like putting a sticker on a flesh wound. It's going to leak at some point, and
Oh,
when?
aye. And DJ Dave says he's been watching some highlights of a few games from Keno's era.
Yeah.
He said it's amazing the players we had then. It's light
Oh
years
yeah.
away from our current squad. So sad how far we have fallen, really. And I was just talking to you, wasn't
Mhm.
there, on
Oh yeah.
on
I
the
agree with that.
on Saturday? Um, you can even go a shorter distance back with that. Look at this, the team spirit and squad we had when we beat Everton 3-0 under Sam Allardyce. It's like, how quickly
Yeah.
things just collapse in such a
Yeah.
short space of time.
Well, things will collapse with businesses because there's a lot of critical events in football, natural critical events, end of the season, Boxing Day matches, January transfer windows, because there's like these huge events that finish a season off. Like, you either go up or you go down or whatever. A lot of people use them end of eras, those things, as excuses, and then they then they recycle, or they try something a little bit lesser than what it was to try and replicate the success of the season before. And if I'm not making myself clear, it's essentially when we were in the Premier League from 2010 to 2016, we were staying up, like we're mid-table, and then we're like one place less, then one place less, then one place less, then just outside the relegation zone, just outside the relegation zone again, and then we went down because we were slowly degrading the quality year on year. We're using the end of the season as a way to get rid of big players and get somebody who's about 85% as good as that other player. We've done that progressively for over a decade. It's not just an overnight thing. progressively went, or we as a fan base have progressively went, that's all right. It makes sense. Let's save a little bit of money to stay in the Prem. Let's save a little bit of money to stay afloat. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're generally okay with this inadequacy.
Thane also
Yeah,
says
yeah.
Neil also won the playoffs with Hamilton in his first job. He says the man knows how to get it over the line, and of
I
course
hope
that's
so.
been
Yeah.
our downfall, hasn't it? We haven't had a manager that's to get us over the line when it comes to
Mm.
sort of the playoffs. I mean, once again, I mean, it is. I'm saying we need a manager to get us over the line. If you look back at the time when it was Charlton 4, Sunderland 4, 5-5 and penalties, I mean, talking about fine margins of
Yeah.
how to get promoted and not to get promoted, you can't really judge that one, can you? Because, I mean, anybody can miss a bloody penalty, to be quite honest with you. It was one of the best games that Wembley's ever seen.
Uh, yeah. Debatable, but yeah, like it is. It was a crack. It's definitely in the top 10 all-time Wembley games, without a doubt. But like, it depends who you support, really. But
well, I'd say best games Wembley's ever seen, I would say, at least in the playoffs. I would say.
yeah, or at least for in a red and white shirt, definitely. So Fane goes in that Keno era: Edwards, Stokes, Nosworthy, Ledbetter, and Miller, God rest his soul, and very strong championship team, full of winners and great characters. I think that Keno did implement a lot of winning mentalities. His leadership did work quite well on those players. Is that going to be the same for Alex Neil, or that's the ultimate question we've got in our heads right now, right?
The fans loved Nyron Nosworthy. Like, I mean, I always remember like it was just immense, wasn't it? It's like,
Yeah.
remember when he used to try and would be like 1-0 up with like a minute to go in a crucial match, and he's got the ball in the edge of the 18-yard area, and he starts like nutmegging people and just doing tricks with people on the edge of the box. It's like, what is he doing? Just get rid of it. But whatever he did, it seemed to work. And
Do you? This might be this might be my nostalgia kicking on here, but like now Nosworthy as a Sunderland player, do you get like a Dharma, Trey Dharma? Was it Trey? What's he called? Adama Traore for Wolverhampton, like the strong winger. And he started at the back. Do you get vibes of him with Nosworthy, like just this big, strong, skilled
yeah, absolutely.
defender?
He just had the lot, and basically nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing got past him. Nosworthy,
yeah,
like he was just. But yeah, he had a good attitude. He was one of the fans' favourite. Nyron, he was just solid in every department.
yeah.
We just didn't like it when he started to do the Diogo Maradona tricks on the edge of the 18-yard box when he was like he could have cleared the ball and to safety, and he would like he would beat his man and then come back and want to beat him again. And honestly, that was him at the back.
Yeah.
It was hard to watch sometimes. But
To be fair, I'd much rather have him than half of our defenders that we've got now.
Aye.
Even post retirement.
I remember one friendly match when we played. I think it was Juventus at the stadium like years ago.
Yeah.
And it finished 1-1. And then as they were walking off at half time, Nyron Nosworthy picked the ball up and lobbed it at one of the Juventus players. So I think it was just a bit of fun, and it just smacked him clean out, this Juventus player, in the face, and he went flat on his ass, like everybody was in stitches at it. And it was just Nyron, that was him. Everything he did was just comical.
Intentional or not, but yeah, it's good to have those flashback points of just like, this is why I support my club. You've got these potential moments of just Nosworthy doing his fucking magic, I guess. But who would you say is providing that magic for you right now, if anyone? It's a hard question, isn't it?
On that scale, I don't think there really is anyone, to be honest with you. And our Gooch tries to go around and tack his man on, but
yeah.
I don't know.
It's a hard question, mate.
It is though, but we haven't though, have we? We haven't got anyone that like, massively sort of exciting. Think, oh Christ, mate, this guy's good. Or little
Do you know?
flashes of things and stuff. I mean, Pritchard, I do like Pritchard. I think he's
Yeah.
a massive player for us. In the centre of the field, but we certainly haven't got any of the defenders qualities like what Nyron knows.
Oh no.
Nyron knows where they had on the likes of Gary Bennett style, and that we're miles away from the likes of that.
Yeah. So I'll bring it back to a couple of chat points from Tam. From a perspective, if you don't have a season card, you end up paying 30 quid for a ticket for a game against Gillingham in League One. Do you think the price for watching a League One game at 30 quid is well worth the money? That's an open question. Do you think you would pay 30 quid if you didn't have a season ticket to watch Gillingham?
A lot of
Or
fans would say no. Well, it depends how dedicated you are, but I mean, 30 quid is a lot of money. I mean, Carlisle United's 25 quid, 27 quid.
yeah.
That's League Two, and their football's been absolutely shocking for most of this season.
So would you say it's about fair for the league then?
The way things are, I would say I.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. That answers that point.
I would say
um,
it is expensive. I can see
yeah,
where Tam's coming from, but you know, you name something that isn't Christ. That's over the top money wise these days, is it? It's
yeah, good point. Finn says about like it all started to fall apart since Quinn left. When we finished our first seasons 13th and 10th. So I think I irked back to that a little bit earlier. Like we just slowly, once that changed, that critical event of something going massive, we just progressively like went, this is okay to expect the 85%. This is okay to be 70% of what we had last season. It's just not great. We never built up. We always just kind of consolidated. And I think Finn also saying on our point, who's like the most exciting player. Pritchard is a good, exciting prospect because he does get some absolutely stunning free kicks. He reminds me a little bit of Seb Larson in that era.
Mhm.
But like to answer my own question a couple of minutes ago about like what moment recently do you think you irk back on and go that was a quality moment? And it's probably the Wembley final with that breakthrough goal, like literally just it came from nowhere. Really, they were attacking, and we just counterattacked, slipped it through, and it was just like beautiful football to watch. It wasn't like overall the end of the game was a bit meh, but that one moment in that one game, it felt really good to be a Sunderland fan again.
Aye, definitely, absolutely.
So there you go. Stephen Stesson-Young is a free agent at a 37-year-old. Oh, Finn, have you not learnt your lesson with Jermaine Defoe? If somebody should be retired and there's free, no other club wants him. We shouldn't be putting our money in for it. We shouldn't.
I know, but he wasn't a bad player. He had his.
Oh no, absolutely. But his era's gone, I think.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these are my
He's doing the Macarena.
He's doing the Macarena, yeah.
Let's join him.
Silly
I
time
can't do the turn.
Get upstairs, you little
£2.20 a
spunky monkeys.
pint.
Upstairs now.
£2.20 a pint in the Millview, lads. No, that's cheap as chips. When was it £2.20 a pint? And can you get a pint for £2.20 now? I don't think you can.
Oh, I've been teetotal for 15 years. I've lost track what the bloody prices are.
They like the camera. They'll be natural. So also Lawson was a very good servant, gave 110% every game. He still plays that for the national team. If he wanted to, I think we could get him back. But he would be competing with Pritchard at the minute. And literally Pritchard's probably one of our only solid players that are guaranteed to get a game. If Pritchard wants to start, he's starting. Let's face it. Who do you leave out the starting 11?
Spattered with them little buggers.
Yeah. Is your head all right there, mate?
Yeah, it's just family life. I ain't hiding out. It's. I've
No.
got kids. It's one of those things, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah.
Who would they leave out the
Sorry, man.
starting 11? You say?
Yeah. So there's a lot of
Well,
who. No,
definitely
it's
Hoff.
the other, it's the other
Definitely
way.
Hoffman.
It's the other way around, mate. Who out of the team, out of the entire squad, if they want to start, are guaranteed to get a start. Like who would the fans be miss taking out of the squad? Stu, I think every time Stuart's out, we look lonely. We look really.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's
You look dreadful up front.
yeah. We'll just look. I mean, who else is there in TV? There's none. There's nobody, is there? Really, to be honest with you. You're looking at goals from maybe Sembleton when he comes back, or Pritchard, or
I don't know. I think Embleton can be swapped out. I think there's too many players that are replaceable, and I think that's what we are missing. Like Charlie White last season, I couldn't imagine starting a game without him, and I think same with Stewart this season. It just doesn't make sense to somebody that's on fire, producing week in week out, getting national recognition for what they're doing. You can't really say no to them. But everybody else, they've got a competition to stay in the starting 11. It's kind of shit. I don't know. It could be the other way around. You could have too many players that are too good that you can't see ever leaving the squad, and then when they do, it collapses. So I
I,
think,
I don't know. It's
oh god,
rumours have it. What's Thane saying there?
rumors that Stewart might have COVID. Hope not. Where did you find them rumors, mate? If it's Twitter, then take it with a pinch of salt until it's announced by the um by himself or the club. Because or Sunderland Echo, to be fair, Sunderland Echo is usually okay with it.
I mean,
Um,
COVID is rife where we are. Like I think it's skyrocketing everywhere. It's just not in the headlines at the moment because it's dominated
yeah,
with the war in Ukraine and stuff, isn't it? But
yeah. Embleton is very hot and cold as well. I agree with that.
yeah,
Um,
which you don't want hot and cold when you're wanting to
you
go
want
through
hot and
from.
hot and hot and hot and
Yeah,
hot.
you if you're going for promotion, you've got to be on the ball, literally.
I'm on the ball.
I'm on the ball.
Sorry. Um, I don't know. There's too many players. I think are fringe, and I do like that Embleton is now coming into his stride a bit. He has been around Sunderland for quite a while, but he's he's got the potential to be like one of those players that see like if we do go up, it does seem to be one of those like club crewmen that we could potentially have for the entire time.
Hmm, hmm.
But he even needs to step up, like constantly being consistently hot, or his cold moments need to be less. Um,
Oh, without
yeah,
a doubt.
less less advantageous for the opposition club. Because when he fucks up or when he slips up, it goes to somebody else, and then no one say 9 times out of 10, probably like 20% of the time, his mistakes end up in a goal.
You know about the Sun and Echo before they had something up saying if he had McGady keeper let go, and I'll just read some replies from what Sunderland fans have thought.
Okay.
Somebody says keep. Somebody says got to get rid surely. Finished. He will retire at the end of the season. Let go. Decent
Hmm.
player, but quite often beats himself by one touch too many after he's done the hard work and already beaten his man. Definitely get rid. Um, get rid. Not being missed this season at all. Overrated by ball
I think
suckers for years.
mm, I think some of them are a little bit too harsh. Not gonna
Mm.
lie, but he is he's definitely past it. He's still got quality in him. He can still produce beautiful moments. But I think he's now officially been replaced by Pritchard. Anything he could have done, maybe not to like the nth degree of beating like people in the Champions League, but Pritchard pretty much does his job now, right? That's yeah. I think Pritchard's replacing McGeady essentially. McGeady can go in the summer, and we'll thank them for his service. That's about it. um, so yeah,
It's a
who
pit.
would you want?
It's a pity Will Smith isn't a footballer. And he'd if he was a forward, he'd slap a few defenders about, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Speaking of slapping people about, Tam goes, who would you want in your dream team? Chris Rock to up the team spirit levels, or Will Smith, who brings a lot of the unexpected?
I thought Tom was going to say slapstick comedy there.
um, oh,
I'll get me caught.
yeah. Oscar drama aside, like, I don't know, like dream team wise, like the goalkeeper. So my football's pretty much like 97 onwards. And most of my squad in my dream team would be of that era. So Quinn, Phillips, Archer. To be fair, I like Niall Nosworthy as well as a good. I didn't really think of him that much. Seb Larson. Who'd you have in goal? Probably Mingile. Because when he was at us, when he was playing for us, he was fantastic. But you could also think like,
He went to Liverpool, didn't he? After that,
yeah, he went to Liverpool. But then we also had Pickford,
yeah,
Jordan Henderson.
yeah.
We've had Danny Rose. We've had loads of England players play for us. So I think rather than answer it now, let me just look back at who's played for us, regardless of how briefly, and I think that could be a video idea we could do, mate. So
I'll second that. The wife's just ringing us anyway. She just.
yeah, no worries. I'll pick up. I'll pick up on the chat from here. So we want spicy, not freezing, and McGeady's finished for you. No pace. Now tries too much when he's on the pitch. It
Yes,
becomes
Pep.
all about
Yeah.
him, and the team doesn't
Yeah, I've washed my
isn't a
underpants. Yeah, they're
team
clean.
game.
Yeah, yeah, they're all right. Yeah. They're just. Yeah, I've put them away. That's fine. I'll catch you later. Try it, bye. Right, sorry about that. Oh,
All right, Mr. Morecambe and Wise there. Oh, Steed Malbronk. What a
Yeah, good player.
blast.
Good player.
Steed, wherever you may be. I'm not saying the rest of the song because I don't want you to get striked.
Was he French?
Yeah, he was French.
Good player.
The
What about Danny Dickey? Did you rate him?
no, not really.
No.
He was okay. He was an okay player, but like his career at Sunderland was a bit.
Because he was up front with Michael Bridges, wasn't he, for a while?
Michael Bridges had a much better time than Dickey. Let's put it that way.
I was at the match when Michael Bridges made his first game for Sunderland, and what a game it was! It was at Roker Park, and we were playing Huddersfield Town, and I was at the game, and it went mental. It was. We went 1-0 down, and it was the cheer up, Peter Reid era when we got the championship.
Yep.
You know,
Tony,
ironically, Tony Norman was in goal for Huddersfield. He got a really good ovation from the Sunderland fans, and we were 1-0 down at half time, and right on the whistle, a Huddersfield player got sent off for throwing the ball somewhere, and then I remember this gangly stick insect of a lad called Michael Bridges comes on, and I remember Kevin Ball pointing his finger at him, like giving him instructions as he ran on the pitch, and we all thought like, who the hell is this? Look at this weedy little, it's like an earwig, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he scored 2 cracking goals to win us the game. One little he ran in and just little header, and then his second goal was very similar to the Gordon Armstrong header when we played Chelsea in the FA Cup. He just rose. It was a lovely cross from the right, and he just rose. And I was in the paddocks at the time, and the ball just seemed to hang in the air for eternity, and it just went right in the top corner. The roof came off the Roker Park on that day, and.
That's one of those archive things that you'd watch on like Match of the Day or whatever it was at the time and go,
oh, it's great.
I wish I was there. Yeah.
But it's funny watching him come and running on, and he just there's no on him, like he's just all skin and bone. He's just a young lad there, but what 2 cracking goals he scored, like.
Yeah.
But he
What a,
went a bit injury
the
prone,
myth.
didn't he?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, most of our agile players end up doing that. Well, lads, I'm going to have a great show. Thank you, Finn. I'll catch you on the next one, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Thane, mate. He's a good pal of mine, Thane. Online with often keep in touch.
Fair
He
enough.
does loads of blogs on Sunderland and player
I'll check
ratings
them
and
out.
stuff, and the odd ranter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check them out. Hey, Patrick. Sorry, late. Oh, no worries, mate. It's Monday night. We love to have a chat about Sunderland, how they're getting on, and where our hopes and dreams are at the minute. I had another long-term question, and this can fluctuate. But who do you think is the biggest waste of money Sunderland have ever thrown at a player? I do want to caveat that, because the obvious one for me is obviously Jack Rodwell.
Somebody asked that question. Have you just asked that?
I've just asked that. Because we were
Right.
just thinking about Michael Bridges and um
Yeah, Jack
like
Rodwell,
other
crikey,
players.
that's got to be one of them up there, hasn't it? Not?
It's definitely I think he's like the one. He literally just got money off us. He never played he never played a game for
Did we
like
get him
3
from Man
years.
City?
Yeah.
Aye.
But him aside, who do you think we've wasted the most money on? Like, bought him, thought he would be fantastic for us, and then ended up
I
having
was
a
going to say
shit 1 or 2 seasons.
Milton Nunes, but I don't know how much we paid for him.
Do you know what? I don't know how much. I think we paid like 2.5 million for him. So
Who else
there's
is there now?
there's two people I've got in my head, obviously above Rodwell, and that is Torre Andrea Flo and Josie Altidore. Do you remember Torre Andrea Flo?
Yeah, I came from Chelsea. I remember when he scored an equaliser when we
No,
played Man United. Do you not come from Chelsea, no?
no. Well, he played for
He
Chelsea,
played
but
for Chelsea, sorry.
he played for Chelsea. Went to Rangers for 3 seasons, and we got him from Rangers.
All I remember,
But
Torre on the floor, he scored an equaliser when we played Man United at the Stadium of Light. And we got
yeah,
a draw because of it. But yeah, he overrated, wasn't he?
he was massively overrated for what he performed. And same with Josie Altidore. When he was with us, what was it, like 70, 80 games and 2 goals as an out and out striker?
But Flo was good for Chelsea, wasn't he?
Uh, can't remember, but it's a thing worth considering. Like, who, if you put the current squad of players as well into that, who's our biggest waste of money that we've had so far? Sorry, Defoe side. There you go. Because
Our current squad.
yeah, our current squad. Who's the biggest waste of money? Who we're not seeing the best out of?
Well, I would have.
It's
Well, it's not current squad, but it's got to be Will Grigg, hasn't it? It's current-ish.
current-ish. Yeah. Well, to be fair, he's still our player.
He's still
He's
our
just out
player.
on loan.
But
He's out on loan.
that's got to be the number one, hasn't it? Surely, God. Will Grigg's on fire? What do you reckon?
Will Griggs. Well, it's a tiny flame in a little church window, isn't it? It's not.
It was another player we got massively excited about, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, way
When
too excited for what he's performed. Way too excited. I don't know. Ian McGeady's. No, to be fair, Ian McGee's had some good moments, so that's unfair.
Danny Graham, Patrick Ward, yeah, good shout. Danny Graham.
Danny Graham. What a mess. Danny Graham. Oh, yeah, I'll agree with that. I'll agree with Danny Graham.
Even his second stint. You know, because he obviously played for us when we beat the Mags, 3 and out, but at the refuge tip. But
Have we not learned about this nostalgia thing? We've stop getting our ex-Premier League players to come back for us. Just get people who are good at what they're doing right now in League One. Flo had 102 games and 34 goals for Chelsea. And what do you have for Sunderland? That's like a 33%, 1 in 3 goals. Just over 1 in 3. Yeah, just over 1 in 3 per game. That's interesting. Go on, Sam. Let me know. I do like my stats. Not gonna lie.
should we As time's moving on.
Yeah.
Should we go on to Sunderland's next opponents then at home
Yeah,
against Gillingham.
Gillingham. Oh,
Got to be 3 points, this hasn't it? It's am I being too cheeky by saying this might as well be a bye. This is a win
I
hands down.
mean, I mean, Gillingham are a squad that win, lose, draw, win, lose, draw, win, lose, draw. Like their record this season has been shit. And actually, yeah, that's probably a bit too fair to them because they've. I'm just looking at the table now. They've won 8 games and lost 19. They drew the rest. So it's like win, draw, lose, lose, win, draw, lose, lose. And they just won a game against fellow, I wouldn't say strugglers, but Accrington are a mid-table squad. So they've already done that one. They're now a couple of points clear of that relegation zone. They'll probably either be going into this match really confident or not giving a shit. And either way, we can exploit that. So I wouldn't say Sunderland are guaranteed 3 points, but we need them more than they do.
Anybody you would like to
Add to that?
start wise for the lineup? Anybody that you think must start? Anybody that you
Wow.
potentially would like to take out and thinking, well, he underperformed a bit of Lincoln. We need to give it. He needs a bit of a break.
Well, okay, I'll pull up our starting lineup because I've genuinely forgot who was in our starting lineup. I've slept like 7 times since then.
Sheffield Wednesday have got AFC Wimbledon, who of course have just sacked their manager. So could they get a bounce effect from that? AFC
Who
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon?
Yeah, they've sacked their manager today, didn't they?
Well, they needed to. The games that they've only won 6 games all season, mate. That's shocking. They should be relegated. They've lost 6 on the bounce, same as Crew.
We drew with them,
Yeah.
didn't we? 0-0 at their ground. Was it? Oh, was it
Yeah.
1-0? It was 1-1.
It was
AFC
1-1.
Wimbledon. We got that. Got a
I think
Pritchard free kick.
we don't have a bogey team anymore in this league. We have a bogey set of teams. Whoever's in that bottom like cluster of teams, we always fuck up and drop points against. So we can smash teams in the top half of the table, like Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday, but we struggle against Charlton, Doncaster, Crew, Lincoln. Why do we struggle so much with the teams that are in that lower bracket? I don't know. So I wouldn't. On paper, yes, we should be smashing them. Let's get that out there. We should. But with Sunderland, we fuck it up way too often for it not to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
No, Patrick's just basically agreed with that. Aren't we playing crap against all the bottom teams? Yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts? You're saying we should?
Without. I mean, I would. You might disagree. When I might say this will be last chance saloon if we don't win this to our playoffs, but you might think not necessarily. There's still a lot of points to play for. So do you think Sunderland could get away with maybe he's just drawn this game, or heaven forbid if we lost it? Would we be too hasty to say that's it? The playoffs have gone now. To our next season, let's rebuild.
We are 2 points adrift, so a draw is not good enough. We will not climb into the top 6 with a draw. So yeah, I think you got to think if just Oxford and Sheffield pick up points, pick up a single point. That is a full. They've got a full game in hand, a full point, 3 points ahead of us. Then,
And this is the trouble, isn't it? It's the fact like if Sunderland were 3 points ahead of Oxford and Sheffield Wednesday, of course, if we drew against Gillingham in that, it would be absolutely awful, but it wouldn't necessarily mean the playoffs would be over. But because of the position we're in, we are playing catch up. We can't lose. And
we can't. Genuinely can't. We can't do what Wickham are doing.
No,
Wickham are doing the same thing. They've had a really good season up to the point of Christmas, New Year, just like us, and they've, for one reason or other, they've been caught out.
Well, they went 7 games without a win. Wickham at some point this season.
Yeah, and they've won 18, so they've had a roller coaster ride as well. But we're not alone in this like fucking up part of the football world. It's just we need to have less of it, really. I'm going to hark on to it as well. I kind of feel like it's a chop and changing of the leadership. in our club that does that. I think at the best time we performed, or the best 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 feeling I've had like as a long term fan was when Lee Johnson had that full 12 months in charge, and it didn't look like it was coming to an end anytime soon either. Um, so I kind of feel like there's a lot to be said about consistency and trust in your leadership. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree.
So
It's
yeah, flip of the coin, mate. Like I think if Alex Neil doesn't get us promoted, we need to move to a new manager and just trust that new manager, whoever it may be, with the job. But if Neil gets us promoted, I still feel like, regardless of how we perform in the next season, even if we're the bottom club with 2 points, well, not 2 points, but like maybe like 30 points or something like that, we still need to keep him on board because he's proven us to go back up. Because there has been clubs that have went down and went back up and went down and went back up and kept their manager. Norwich being one of them, Peterborough being one of them. Like, just because we're getting relegated and we have a bad run of form and we're having a bad season doesn't mean the manager isn't the best fit for the club. And I think that's where we are as a fan base a little bit harsh. We're shit. We're not winning. We're going down. To the nth degree, though, as well. Like when we were in the Premier League era and we literally were the worst ever Premier League team before Derby took that title off us twice.
mhm.
um, like I wouldn't like to keep a manager who's that poor. So swings and roundabouts.
It is. Are you gonna go with any? I presume we're playing Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, we are playing Saturday. We are playing Saturday.
Would you like Dare to do any predictions?
I mean, there's an early kickoff, which is Wigan Bolton. So if Wigan win that one, they're top of the league, which means the Rotherham game against where are they at? I can't find where they're at alphabetically. Must mean they're away. Where are Rotherham?
They'd be gutted if Rotherham didn't get up, wouldn't they? Christ almighty, would they?
Rotherham. Rotherham don't play on Saturday.
Do they not?
No,
I know
apparently
why,
not.
don't you? Got the Papa John's Trophy final this weekend.
Ah, there you go. That's why. Okay, so you got Wigan Bolton. I fancy Wigan. Accrington Stanley Cheltenham. That's probably a draw. Charlton Lincoln, another draw. Crew Fleetwood. That's Fleetwood are shit, but they're much better than Crew. So I'd say Fleetwood. Ipswich Cambridge. Ipswich. MK Don Shrewsbury. I kind of fancy Shrewsbury on that one. No idea why. Morecambe Burton. Burton. Plymouth Oxford. Would you Plymouth Oxford's a huge one actually this weekend, right?
Plymouth Oxford's massive, yeah.
Fourth versus fifth.
I fancy Plymouth getting that because I think the tails will be up after their defeat
That would
against
help us
Ipswich.
out massively. So are we're rooting for Plymouth this weekend in that one?
I would say definitely so. Yeah.
Yeah, Chef Wed Wimbledon. You're hoping for the new manager bounce, but I doubt it.
That's if they get a new manager by that time, like, because he's just been sacked today. But
Yeah,
I don't know. He didn't fancy Wimbledon against Sheffield Wednesday, to be honest with you.
out the Wednesday right now. Sunderland Gillingham. We should be seeing Sunderland for this one, and Wickham Doncaster. It should be Wickham, like really. So apart from like the top three or the first three games in that cluster, I said Accrington, Charlton, and Crew games.
So do you think
Everybody
that would be a bad result if Oxford beat Plymouth?
It's. Do you see Plymouth dropping down more points, or do you see us climbing up to 74 points?
I think Plymouth will beat. I think Plymouth will beat Oxford, and I think that potentially could open a gateway. It could open the doorway for Sunderland.
It would be nice because if Oxford lose and Sunderland win, we go above them, so we're back in the playoffs. Doesn't matter what happens at Sheffield then.
But
So
you wouldn't be surprised if Oxford got thumped by Plymouth and we lost 1-0 to Gillingham. That's frustrating. That's the Sunderland
yeah,
way, isn't it?
that's how we normally write our matches out. So yeah, as Emily maybe covered already, you hear any? Yeah, we did briefly talk about it. So Ross Stewart been rumored to have COVID, which means he should be returned from the Scottish national team. He'll not be in the squad for tomorrow. If he has it, he's not allowed to be in that squad. If he's not got it, he'll be in the squad. So basically, look at the Scottish squad tomorrow and see if he's in it. If he's in it, he hasn't got COVID. It's, and also, don't believe rumors are rumors for a reason. Like until it's officially written on a club statement or his personal Twitter, I tend not to believe stuff like that. To be
Well,
honest,
apparently there's reports as well for Plymouth have got a couple of injuries for when we're playing them. Like, I don't know if you've heard anything about that, and
that'd be nice. A weakened Plymouth side, but that also means they've got a weakened side against Oxford. So
would a draw
it's
be a good result for Sunderland even? It's drop points, isn't it?
it's drop points for the teams above us, but we need to be winning. We need to be beating
I mean,
Gillingham.
don't forget, I say we've got to play Plymouth and we've got to play Oxford as well and Rotherham. So it's not going to be all easy peasy for us, is it?
No, not at all. But it also like when we do play them, if we are within 1 point of them, we then just jump above them by 2 points, and they've lost that extra game that they would have potentially played. So because we're playing teams in that bracket who are directly against us, I think that's good for us, right? So only can see it as positive. It might be hard games, but we need to be beating them.
Right, I suppose I better wrap that up now. We've just gone over the hour. I'm
Yeah,
on
fair enough.
daddy duties for bedtime.
Fair enough,
I
mate.
take it we're doing the commentary drilling match will be on your channel, aren't we?
Yeah, and I'll be doing what you're doing with your OBS now and sharing that. So we both got the same footage at the same time because there was a little bit of overlap last time, right? With
Yeah, I do think that'll be a hell of a lot better for both singing off the same song sheet because it's a mess, isn't it? When one's 2 seconds ahead, it just spoils it, doesn't it? So
yeah, you're like fucking get in. Well, there was none of that last match, but
no, it's all Gary Bennett go. "Ugh," you know.
oh, just ignore Gary Bennett next time.
We say
Yeah, so a
massive
bit.
thanks to everybody who's popped into the channel. Click the thumbs up if you can, and we'll be on Anth's channel on a Saturday for the live commentary and watch along Sunderland against Gillingham. Somebody else just popped in the chat. Hi, Craig Scott. Should stick Alex next season if we fail to go up.
So he's saying we should stick with Alex Neil if we go up. I don't know. So I've just like commented on it. It's Anthony Mackham. If you search for that, I'll be on that. Did you put it in the about bit on the video or no? No, it's all good. Just click on my profile if you want to see us across there on Saturday. We'll be back here this time next week, depending on whatever that result was, on my channel as well.
Yeah, we'll
So
do
yeah,
take turns on each other's channels for the Monday night shows and for the commentaries and stuff. So
it's all
yeah,
fun.
so I think all that's been covered really. We've covered quite a lot considering there's been the Sunderland match being played.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be a good weekend. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. If you haven't already, just smash the like button. It helps the channel get seen by more Sunderland fans searching for this kind of content. And we'll end the video there. Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll catch us later. See you Saturday.
Bye.